The idea behind the war is nothing but money. The main issue is there China or Russia should not be allowed to set up a base in my backyard. This is precisely what America is thinking. And number two, everything boils down to business. I just recall the statement of Trump when Honduras president was arrested and he was tried in United States, and the presidential pardon is signed by none other than Donald Trump, saying that it is unfair to treat a president of a country like this. With the entire Muslim world, they are paid by you and you are protecting their emirs. India is so far the only country which has protected its sovereignty, and number two, which is unbiased in all global dealings. So we hope by another 20-25 years India has got an opportunity to go there. Again, getting all these people in order. I am not sure how far the Prime Minister is doing that. I have a doubt in that. Tamil culture, Hindu religious things are going to get destroyed. Missionaries are activating this Buddhist people to do some violence. He is the one who said.
Namaskaram. Welcome to ShreeTV World. Once again, today we have an eminent Hindu warrior, and he is also director of Vedic Science Research Center, none other than ShreeTV's very own BalaGouthaman. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Welcome to the show, Swami. In
Thank
fact,
you.
This is the fourth episode we're gonna go on air with broadcast. Because of what you understand, because of a lot of geopolitical things happening, world events that is turning the entire world upside down. So currently, the latest being Delcy Rodriguez has overtaken or taken oath as president of Venezuela. So Venezuela conflict where Maduro has been taken as president. Should I call it as prisoner of war, or I'm not sure, but he has been taken to US along with his wife by none other than the United States of America itself. So how do you see this development according to you in geopolitics, and what kind of impact is this going to have? Because we see a lot of communists from India kind of asking the country, the Bharat, to respond or say something, give some statement about it, and I guess we haven't done anything yet.
Okay, I mean, the second part of your question, I think it is a narrative setting exercise, but it has got no weight, and it has got some other implication for the far left wing throughout the world. Because the thing is, when the communists of India are now forcing India to issue a statement for Venezuela, and I am seeing protest marches were held in many parts of the country for Venezuela. But I think that Venezuela is somewhere around 10,000 kilometers from here. Am I right?
Obviously.
But your next door, Bangladesh, when Hindus are attacked, I am not seeing any procession. No request has gone from these people to condemn what is happening to our own Hindu veterans there. So the thing is, the second part of the question that answers the first part.
Okay.
That this entire Venezuela issue and everything is just politics. Politics, in a way, it is not my statement, it is the statement of Rubio. He made a statement yesterday or day before, said that in the Western Hemisphere, we can't allow Russia, China, or some other country to operate.
Right.
And the entire oil belongs to us. They cannot come and dictate terms here. This is a statement precisely made by Rubio. That means the idea behind the war is nothing but money. Point number one.
Right.
And yes, number two, there are reasons, because to me, I say that it is right, because the thing is, it doesn't have any problem with the drug trade or anything else in US. Many people in America are doing the same trade in some other country also. So that is not an issue. The main issue is there China or Russia should not be allowed to set up a base in my backyard. This is precisely what America is thinking. And number two, everything boils down to business.
Right.
Yeah, that is fair enough statement, that we don't want our adversaries to be in my borders. If that holds good, then the same thing is what Putin is also saying.
I was about to ask that question. I guess they've been having a war for almost more than a
The
year.
thing is, if NATO, or if
More than a couple
Ukraine
of
wants
years.
to
Yeah.
join NATO,
Yeah.
then you are, allowing America or Europe, some other country in the Europe in your backyard. So how can he tolerate?
Right.
If Rubio says that China or Russia cannot come in their backyard, the same thing Russia can also say.
Right.
The same thing India can also say in Bangladesh,
Bangladesh as well as
Pakistan, even in Sri Lanka. We can also say the same thing. So there cannot be different yardsticks for different countries.
Right.
So this war has got nothing to do with the drug trade or anything else, number one. And number two, now Mudro is now taken as a political prisoner,
Yes.
and this is what they say. And I just recall the statement of Trump when Honduras president was arrested and he was tried in United States, and the presidential pardon is signed by none other than Donald Trump, saying that it is unfair to treat a president of a country like this. Then why they are different? There are different yardsticks. So something that we need to understand this, the logic of international parity, that we go by certain framework.
Right.
All these things are bakwas.
For
There
cat.
is nothing. There is nothing.
Right.
There is nothing like this in this entire world. And now why these things are happening? And you don't have a definite global leader now.
Who could command?
Yeah, no global leader in the world. China can't command.
Right.
America lost its
Supremacy. Yeah.
So I am seeing it as an opportunity for India to evolve, to go to that position, because India is so far the only country which has protected its sovereignty,
Yeah.
and number two, which is unbiased in all global dealings.
Yes. In fact, we have sent a truckload of items to Palestine as well.
As well as
During the war.
the thing is that if something is right with Palestine, we say that that is right. And something is right with Israel, we say that is right. So we are basically issue based. And we don't have a bias towards anyone. Even in Russia-Ukraine conflict, we are one country with both the presidents can talk. The same thing is happening there in Palestine. Even America doesn't have this.
Yeah.
And this is something that we need to understand. This is a position what India can slowly acquire over a period of 20, 30 years from now. Because you have to cover more bases if you are going to be there in that particular position. And again, you have to say, Trump said, if I was there in the previous term as president, when Joe Biden was the president, these conflicts could not have developed in this entire world. Just imagine now, UAE, Saudi, both are allies of America.
Yeah.
Both are fighting against each other. What America could do there? He very usually says that Putin is my good friend. And Zelensky is at my mercy. And this is a statement made by Trump. One is friend and the other person is at his mercy. But he can't find a solution there. Then he said that Israel, that we are protecting Israel. The other side he says that the Hamas, that we are brokering the peace deal, so everything can happen there. And now he is asking Asim Munir to send his forces there in the peacekeeping mission. What is the peacekeeping mission all about? Because it has to disarm the Hamas. So, if any arm is going to be in the, if AK-47 is going to be in the hands of a Palestinian, then who is going to neutralize him? Pakistan is going to neutralize him, you see. So, America is not in a position to neutralize them. If the America is thinking that if they are going to do, there will be a counter attack on America by Islamic radicals.
Right.
He is afraid. This is something that we need to understand. People think that he is, he is very bold, courageous. Nothing. So he doesn't want to take the blame of it.
Right.
So if a country, if it claims that I am the superpower, I am the unipolar power of the world, then why are you afraid of taking a blame? And even the thing is, it's Palestine is not more than Tamil Nadu, right? And you have all facilities around. Egypt is your friend, Jordan is your friend, Syria is your friend, Iraq is your friend, UAE and Saudi Arabia are your friends. With the entire Muslim world, they are paid by you and you are protecting their emirs, right?
Right. Both of them.
All.
That's why you're correct.
So, with this, if you can't do it, that means that America is losing its significance in international.
Likewise, if we can just take the same yardstick, is the global left breaking? So, as you know, China tried its hand in Maldives as well as in Sri Lanka. They couldn't do much. I guess India has protected itself very well there. America is trying to take a position in Pakistan. And we also know what happened in Nepal. Nepal, they had the youth Gen Z protests. The communist government was overthrown. We didn't hear anything from the communist of Tamil Nadu or Tamilagam talking anything, squeaking anything about that. But why is it just Venezuela? Is it just oil? As I said, it's not drug. It is money and politics. So Venezuela, as we know, has more oil than any other country as of now. So is that the only thing?
That is what I previously said. It is one as oil economy.
Right.
Number two, America cannot afford to have a country in the Western hemisphere which can be a potential base for China or Russia.
Right.
It is strategically important for America.
So though Russia is not a threat to India, but China is, so America doesn't want either of them to be there.
Look, Pacific is another region.
Right.
And is where the most of the trade passes through.
Right. Okay.
And again, India is one of the major importer of Venezuelan oil. It's a hard crude. That's something that you need to understand. And now, if you are trying to cut off Russian supplies, who is going to ramp up the supply?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And number two, then, if you want to stay ahead in the race, now, what problem are that is what I said. America is losing its control as a unipolar superpower.
Right.
Look, now Trump is speaking of taking control over Greenland.
That seems to be the next target.
Okay, Colombia. Now you are ruffling feathers against even European Union countries. And many European Union countries like France, UK, now they are all having leftist governments.
Yep.
So today it is Trump. Now Trump is seeing this as global takeover by China.
Okay.
This is something that we need to understand. So how America has to compensate?
By having its allies.
Yes, allies somewhere else.
Somewhere else, right.
So this is fastly happening. And in the process, look, China very well knows that bringing in ideals of communism, no country is going to accept. Even China cannot accept communism.
Yes.
This is something that we need to understand.
Yeah.
So what they can very well do is this liberalism. So people may think that it is okay. It is entirely controlled by the communist. It is not. Liberalism and all these things are first used by Protestant missionaries against Catholics. They overrun countries, and now the ghost
It's coming to haunt them.
is coming back to them.
Right.
This is something that we need to understand. Now, this is a moment what Trump has to realize. Now you are in power and you have another 3 years left in power.
Right.
And this is a time where all conservative politicians, conservative political parties across the world, they have to think one thing. Now the thing is that if you are going to allow these liberal ideas to come in, your culture, your language, your nativity, everything will be ruined. And now it is ruining. You may call it is a radical uprising, and people are questioning a particular order, and they are trying to reinvent a old order, new order. That is a bakwas.
Right.
Look what's happening in UK. What is happening in France?
In Germany.
You have to call off Paris New Year functions. Bondi Beach ceremony in New Year celebrations called off in Australia.
Yes.
Some Christmas markets in Germany are closed. So, what is happening around the world? This is something that we need to see. All your iconic celebrations are now being discarded. You are speaking liberalism. On that basis, you are allowing migration to take place. And that migration, the people who are immigrating into your country, they are seeing your ideas of this liberalism as alien to their faith. And now, since you are talking about all these concepts of, individual rights, you said that the borderless movement and no conformity to social ideals and these things that you are propagating. Now, your local population are slowly becoming rootless.
Right.
If the tree doesn't have a root, it is enough for even a breeze to topple it over. And now you have a strong hurricane by the name of International Islam, Darul Islam. So, since you have weakened the base of the tree, it is toppling tree by tree, and the forest is being now toppled throughout. So it has now become a barren desert. So conservative parties across the world, you have to think. Look, if your aim is to promote Christianity and you want to impose it on somebody else, if you are using this liberalism, this extreme, your right-based approach and other thing, to make a world order amenable to your Catholic values, it won't work.
I guess it is the exact opposite.
It has now become counterproductive to what you have done.
Absolutely.
Because you used it, Catholics used it to finish off indigenous traditions, indigenous cultures.
America, Africa, anywhere.
Anywhere you have done that.
Yeah.
And now it is playing the game on you back.
Right.
And so this is a time where conservative parties have to sit and think, yes, we have committed a mistake. We have committed a genocide. And now the ghost has come back to me. So now this is a time for me to rectify what all I have done.
Redeem.
You have to redeem. At least you have to learn from your Bible, because redemption is what through which you are fooling people to convert them. This is what you are using.
Right.
So this is something now you have to understand. And this is a time where conservative parties across that you have to look. All conservative ideas throughout the world, that we are friends, that you are not against each other.
Yes.
You have to oppose ideas which are killing the root of nativity, of culture, and again, leftism, which is what I can say the catalyst for them to work.
That's falling.
Yeah, these two things, that is the liberal as well as international jihad, these two things are our common enemy. The thing is, if you think that the thing is, if I want numbers, then I have to come to India and change India. If I want numbers, I have to go to Sri Lanka, Burma, and other countries and then go and convert Buddhism. I have to go and do the same thing with the Taoism. I have to do with some other, you know, indigenous group in Africa. Look, finally, you will be annihilated. And this idea or this uh, thought process needs to be cultivated among the conservatives. And this is the only way through which some remedy can be taken place. This is where Trump missed the bus. Trump got elected because conservative Americans feel that they are threatened.
Yes.
But what Trump has done?
Almost
After
nothing.
getting into power, you went with Azim Munir. You went and met a person who is sanctioned by your own country, the Al Qaeda leader. You met.
Yeah. The Syrian leader.
You did. And when countries which are sponsoring terrorism or breeding terrorism like Bangladesh and Pakistan, IMF package was given to them and you gave new life to terror. And now you are facing the backlash, and now you have a person, a mayor by the name Mamdani in your own financial capital who is taking on you.
Exactly where the Twin Towers fell.
Fell. And again, and it is Mamdani who issued the first statement saying that, you know, the operation in Venezuela is an act of terror, it's an act of war. The statement came from the mayor of New York. And he is nothing but a person who said that the New York police should not go to the house of somebody else if you receive a call on domestic violence.
Right.
So violence against a wife is something that Muslim world say that it is right. And he said the New York police should not do anything against it. That means you are going to prescribe a Sharia law to New York police. Now he has become the mayor. Because this is something that you need to understand. And again, whatever the sanctions the previous governor of New York has put on doing business with Iraq, he has
Yes.
done away with that.
Absolutely.
It's like, so the state policy of America is something, and this guy is doing exactly opposite to what an American state policy is. Now, secessionism has crept in your territory because this is something Trump thought that he can do in some other country.
In fact, when Trump became the president, there was a talk that he gonna take in care as well as his 50th state, but he seems to be losing ground in his home itself.
Well, at the end of his tenure, if America is going to have all those 49 states, that itself is a questionable thing. And this is what it is. Because the thing is, he is not even true to his conservatism.
Right.
The previous government by Biden, there he becomes ultra left and he totally flouts whatever they claim as American values.
Correct.
So successively, both parties, the Republican as well as the Democrat, both parties, they worked against
American interest.
the American interest and what America called that it is our fundamental ethos. So both have gone wrong. That is why America now lost its significance in global geopolitics. China no one can accept because of its communist baggage.
Right.
Russia cannot be accepted. It's
Again,
obvious.
communism. Yeah.
So now who is going to fill up this vacuum? Only one country which is posting 6+% GDP growth
Year after
year after year, and another country which is now strongly getting militarized, a country which goes anywhere, if you get a dial from, whether it may be COVID or it may be a natural disaster or even evacuation during a war or any calamities. So it is an opportunity for India to position itself. And incidentally, we have a prime minister who has got this vision. So we hope by another 20-25 years, India has got an opportunity to go there.
To lead the world.
Yes, I think that the field is now suited for it.
Right, right, okay.
But unfortunately, the democratic institutions in the country, maybe the parliament or your opposition party, or even some section of your judiciary, sections of your bureaucracy, now they have not fallen in tune with the vision of the prime minister. This is what I feel. But it may take time. In another 5 to 10 years, if everything falls in line, I think the growth of India will be drastic.
Right.
And again, getting all these people in order. I'm not sure how far the Prime Minister is doing that. I have a doubt in that.
He is just allowing them to be as it is as of now. He is not concerned as much as, keeping the house in order, as you said, getting all the people aligned, the opposition, bureaucracy, as well as judiciary, to his vision.
It is not to the vision of that one man Prime Minister. It is the vision of every patriot of this country.
Right.
So it is where I feel that there is a what I can say, a small failure is point number one is over centralization of power.
But that's exactly what they said they won't be doing when they came to power. Decentralization of power.
But it has not happened. Now look, the strength of the PMO now.
They call the shots.
So PMO. Yeah. But they are good, no doubt about it. But a vast country with this much amount of diversity, and where you have allowed every non-state actor as well as your enemies to prosper for 75 years after your independence. You have to understand how much the system is rotten.
Yes.
And again, with a small power center, how can you manage this? Maybe you have a population of close to 1.5 billion.
1.5 billion.
It is 1.4 to 1.5 billion.
I'm saying after the SIR cut, it might have come down.
Okay. It is around 1.4 billion or so. That is your population. And you can't expect a single office to deal with all these issues even at the local level. So you need to have a team, motivated team, a patriotic team which works like you. That team building has not happened. That means in another way, trust on somebody else that I have to have. If I don't have, then I have to create somebody else who is trustworthy. But that phase, I think Modi and co, they have failed.
As
the
of
past
now.
10 years. Yeah, the past 10 years. And that is why all these things are happening. Because, you have an issue in Bangladesh that is in your backyard.
Yes.
And another in Kashmir, then in Northeast. Where you can concentrate? When all these things are happening, slowly another Punjab is building down south in Tamil Nadu.
Absolutely.
How many ears and eyes you can have? Even Ravana has got only 20. So this is something the government has to, the Prime Minister has to understand.
Yeah, so as you said, the issue in Bangladesh, we haven't heard much from the government. In fact, we've been hearing a lot of horror stories of how Hindus have been targeted, killed, say hanged, in fact, poured oil over them, right, petrol, and then been burned. I guess there have been a number of cases on a regular basis. I don't want to say daily basis. We're getting horror stories from Bangladesh. We are lip tight. We haven't said anything about it. But though there are people from India, conservatives, asking at least India to speak up or act something, do something. As of now, we haven't seen anything. The same thing goes with Cambodia, Thailand. I guess one of Hindu
Temple.
religious temple,
A statue,
a
not a
statue rather, a big statue has been felled by Thailand authorities, and we haven't heard anything from the government yet condemning the act or even issuing a statement.
I'm sorry, India condemned that act.
Okay.
A statement came from the ministry,
Okay.
and government of India has condemned it. Number
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Number two, as far as Bangladesh is concerned,
Fine.
I am sure this violence is going to escalate till February.
Okay.
It will stop if the elections are postponed. If the election is going to happen, this violence is going to escalate. Jamaat-e-Islami will play a sinister role, and that you have to understand that the Ingulop Morcha, and that is the students association which started off all these things, and all our media, including Indian media, said that it is the student protest, and student representatives were asked to share post in the government by Yunus and the Mount Road mob, what we call the Hindu.
Right.
And they also said that it is a very good example or something else. Now, you have to say that this Jamaat-e-Islam is going to have an alliance with this particular political party. So it is very clear, Jamaat-sponsored violence have links to government-sponsored violence, and that is they are the group which really toppled the
Bangladesh
Hasina government.
Right. Right.
And this is one thing, and some of the youth leaders have resigned because this party is having an alliance with them. So at this time, now BNP chief is now para-dropped, and he is now coming after 17 years, not 1 or 2. And as soon as he came to Bangladesh, Jaishankar met him, and it is Khalida Zia's funeral. They met, and they said that BNP has worked with India before. So some sort of message the government has given, and this is what I feel. That is on one front. And everyone knows that this violence will be kept alive
Till election.
till the elections. And I am expecting even more disasters. Understand one thing. Today, a landmark judgment came in Thiruparamkunram case.
Correct.
The judge mentioned in his judgment, the thing is for political reasons. The government has taken a decision not to light a lamp, and it is for communal politics. It is a judgment given by the High Court of Madras. So a state where you have less than 7% of the Muslim population, you can politicize and organize votes. Just imagine a country where you have 80% Muslims, because this is where you have to understand the fundamentalistic Islam taught through madrasa can be used for any political purposes. That is why I repeatedly say banning an Islamic organization is not going to end terror.
Like PFI.
It is not going to end terror. The thing is the fundamental preaching which is giving scope for these organizations to thrive, that needs to be addressed. So the entire Bangladesh problem comes here. India never intervened to stop this fundamental madrasas growing in Bangladesh. This statement, I made it when Hasina was in power. After I made this statement, after a year or so, the same statement was vouched by none other than Taslima Nasri.
Right.
She said, because when she has to move out of Bangladesh because of this Jamaat pressure, she made this statement. So the problem of Bangladesh is not with Hasina's ouster. It started even before that. At that time, Hasina is a friend of India. What government of India did then to stop this Jamaat activity? Can't you comprehend that this is going to come? Don't you think that the government officers, they don't have any idea about it? Don't you think that research and analysis wing are fools? So this is something that we need to understand. This is going to happen. This is what even a person like me can understand this. A raw official can even put it in a better perspective than me. Okay. Even I have many in many channels. I am seeing some senior army officials appearing. They are very decorated, very distinguished officers. I salute them for whatever they have achieved. And still, what they say it is, oh, the population in Bangladesh is growing. In India, the population growth is not happening. That is why migration is happening. I am seeing it in many channels. Very distinguished, decorated officers. And they are saying that this migration is not planned. So I have a doubt whether people at such level, are they ignorant of these things, or they want to show themselves as apolitical, or they want to show that they are not against any religion, they want to show that they are secular by nature. So the posturing what government of India is doing even after Modi government, turning a blind eye towards what is happening in your neighboring country, which is going to have a big impact on your own country. And this is one of the reasons what I am seeing, what is happening in today's Bangladesh is because of that.
Right. One other thing I thought I should ask you with regards to, we had two neighbors, one is Sri Lanka, where there was war going on for years, and we had a state government, rather maybe the Indian government itself was kind of didn't intervene, though there were pressure. The same thing we could see, at least from the state level, because they had a common language, they were raising issues that India should intervene. Why is it not happening with regards to Bengal? Bangladesh and West Bengal, earlier called as East Bengal, used to have the same language. They share the same kind of ethos, language, culture. Why is West Bengal not praising anything like what Tamil did for LTTE?
Two things. When the issue in Sri Lanka started in the early 80s, it is RSS which took up the issue. That you have to understand. A gentleman by the name Govindacharya, he was a former general secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Party. He was an RSS Pracharak. He later was the organizing general secretary of Akhila Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. He is the one who foretold that Sri Lanka is going to be in danger. Tamil culture, Hindu religious things are going to get destroyed. Missionaries are activating this Buddhist people to do some violence. He is the one who said. Unfortunately, even not forget about the government of India, even people inside Hindu organizations, they don't value his words.
Unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. He made the statement in Chennai.
1980.
80s.
80s.
The book came in the 80s. They printed that book. That is Plight of Hindus in Sri Lanka, a booklet.
Okay.
Even many leaders here in Tamil Nadu, they can't see through things. They can't maybe short-sightedness, what I can say. As he rightly said, Christian missionaries, they took control over both sides. With this issue,
you mean both sides, as in Sri Lankan government as well as LTT?
Yeah, the Buddhist side as well as the LTTs. But it is the Tamilian side. LTT is an organization which came much later.
Right.
In the earlier time, you don't have LTT. LTT came much later.
Right.
Okay, this happened. Now, see, when that happened, the scope of secessionism in Tamil Nadu also increased.
True.
So the people who are now today speaking about umbilical cord are the ones who are sponsored by the missionaries. That is not happening there,
In Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, because the organizations which speaks about rights and other things, they are hand in hand with the jihadis. There the perpetrators are jihadis. And here you have a state government which is controlled by the jihadis. And already 20 plus percentage of your voters are those Muslims from Bangladesh. So it won't resonate like how it is resonating here. Look, one example that I can quote. You have a agitation or a protest by Tamil Nadu government employees in Tamil Nadu
Yeah.
some time back. The police, they are pulling the agitators, the people who are in there in the protest. Clothes were torn. But when this entire operation is happening, one Muslim girl with the parda, she was sitting, she is a part of the protest. No one dared to go near her. You have to see Islamic will is intimidating your powerful police. You have over a period of years, you have cultivated it as your state policy that if you are going to condemn anything which is against Islam or Christianity, you will be called a rabid, you will be called a majoritarian, you will be called a retrogative person, you will be called an anarchist. I think that I can quote around 10 to 20 of these titles. So, over a period of time, here language politics is taken over by the church. So, it gets an international attention. There, language is killed by Islam.
Right.
So, this issue has not come. So, it is not a language or something else that links people. It is how well you advocate your policy. That alone resonates. That is the difference. Why it is resonating in Tamil Nadu with Sri Lanka and why it is not resonating in Bengal vis-a-vis Bangladesh. And then you have to understand this global politics. Religious right, linguistic right, freedom of expression, all these are subjected to certain caveats. One caveat is Islam, the second caveat is Christianity, and the third caveat is communism.
Right.
So the rights are subjected to constraint based on these three ideals. And you apply this fundamental framework to Bengal. The same framework you apply here, then you can I understand why it is resonating in one state and why it is not resonating in other state. Venezuela, you are having a procession, not for Bangladesh. Why?
Because of communism. Because it resonates with global communism.
Global communism. That is it.
Right.
Hamas for Israel,
Palestine.
for Palestine. Big rallies in Calcutta. Big rallies in other parts of Bengal. Bengal is being killed in Bangladesh. Why no rally? Oh, it is what you see in the ground answers this question.
Right. Well, in fact, it did answer my question. Thanks a lot, Mr. BalaGouthaman, for, I guess we had a long, elaborate discussion, and we're going to have more of this. Viewers, spectators rather, subscribers, we're going to have this on a regular basis because, as you know, he's our in-house man. So BalaGouthaman is available for us to just, nobody can talk so thoroughly about this kind of topics because obviously they have to take some stance politically or otherwise. There is no political correctness with regards to Mr. BalaGouthaman ji. So thank you very much.
Namaste.